G'day my friends, Marty Ware from martysgarden.com.au and welcome to video 2, the series In Search Of. And today we are in search of the best free fertilizer for you at home, so you can save some big bucks and really keep your plants nice and healthy, just like this one. So I've chosen around 6 free fertilizers that you can use. 3 things that you can get around the house to make really great fertilizer. Now the first one is eggshells, second is wood ash, the third is comfrey, next is animal manures if you have close to cows or you have some of your own chickens, or unfortunately if you don't, you will have to go out and buy it. The other is composting worms, and that basically once you've got your worms and your little worm farm, that is virtually free. The other is weeds, and collecting weeds around the garden and turning that into fertilizer too. So we're going to cover that more in the video as we move around the farm and check some things out, shall we? You can see these weeds growing side by side with my sweet basil here, and you're probably wondering why I haven't removed them. Well, actually, roots in the ground are actually a good thing. And it helps with the microbial balance and the worms and all the different animals, and it's actually shading this soil in this very high temperatures that we're having at the moment. And so how can I make a fertilizer out of this and this nightshade behind here? And I'm not sure what type of weed this is, but I wouldn't actually pull it out because I don't want to disturb the soil and the microbes, but I just cut it back, throw it in a bucket of water, let it steep for a day, not too much longer, because then it will go anaerobic and get smelly and be all funky and not so good. But all the minerals and everything that are stored up and nutrients that are stored up in this plant are locked in that leaf at the moment because it hasn't produced seed yet, and that will actually work as a liquid fertilizer. Here we are looking at the humble comfrey. Now this comfrey is an amazing plant, and is also known as knitbone in the olden days, because the comfrey leaf, it has oils and minerals and different types of things in it that are really good for healing the body. You can also make what they call mock fish from it. So you cut the leaf, you can see they're quite large, right? So you cut the leaf and then you wrap it in not wrap it, you actually put it in some type of batter and then deep fry it real fast, and it tastes like fish. Now they say that you shouldn't eat too much of this, but I eat a little bit of it from time to time. Mostly I have it here for making free fertilizer. Now you can do the same method as I talked about before with the weeds. You just cut some of the leaves back and then throw it in a bucket of water for about 24 hours and use that. Now the root of the comfrey grows very deep, very deep, more than most plants, into the ground. And it brings up everything that's locked in the subsurface of the soil back into this leaf. Now if you've got chickens around, they will hammer this in a second because they know how good it is to eat and how healthy it is for them. And like I said, this is one of the ones that brings back all those locked up nutrients and brings it back to the subsurface, and then dies off and refeeds that whole soil system again. And the biodynamic guys love this and use it to make a lot of their preparations. So I highly recommend, if you're not growing comfrey, get some comfrey. It likes to grow in the shade. It takes cuttings easily from the root and from the leaf, and is really easy to propagate. You can also throw it into your worm farm, which I do, and then the worms will consume it and make it even better and more bioavailable for your plants and garden. Yes, the compost system. Many of us have composts, and many of us have dreaded nightmares of opening them up and flies and all different types of things coming out of it. This has only just been moved. It's only just been emptied because it was full of worm castings and being used on the farm and the micro farm here. And you can see I've got a lot of holes and things drilled in it, and the reason is because I put my composting worms in here as well. And this is my winter composting, red composting compost system that I like to use. And I don't throw anything like cheese and meat and funky stuff in there. I just throw spent microgreens, a few tea leaves, some leaves, sticks and things like that. And remember, you got to add 50% carbon to the wet stuff, so 50% dry to wet, and turn it over regularly so you get a really great free compost. And then add some rock dust to it too, guys, because that's what's going to really help your garden to be successful and to be healthy. And get those composting worms in there, because that really is the secret formula. So I highly recommend, if you can get hold of some rock dust, and if you can't, get some seaweed minerals, or get some liquid seaweed and start putting it through your plants, feeding your plants with it, so it gets locked up in your system. Because when you're composting it and it's breaking down again, those minerals are staying within the system that you have. And that way you get to eat those minerals, and you get the nourishment from those minerals that you need, because we just don't get them in the supermarkets. The plants don't have those minerals, and we need them in our life to keep us happy, healthy and young. So there you have it, my friends. Plenty of ways to make free fertilizer at home for your garden, whether you're growing microgreens, baby leaf, vegetables, plants such as this, such as the saluyot, Egyptian spinach, in containers, in the ground. You need to have a good quality fertilizer, and you need to build up that soil around the plants, especially when it's in the ground. And the best way really is to get all those things that I've spoken about and get them into your little worm farm. It doesn't have to be a big worm farm. It can be one of those little ones that I just shown you. They go on the balcony. They have no smell as long as you don't overfeed them. But they are very simple to use. And you can check out the video on how does a worm farm work over in YouTube at Marty's Garden. And I explain all about those little systems there. You can also pick up my ebook at martysgarden.com.au, and it covers everything from the small backyard gardener to someone who wants to start a business, or even a little micro hobby or something like that, and or take gardening to a whole new level. It's all about saving money and recycling, guys. We don't need to go out and buy all these expensive fertilizers all the time. Anyway, that's it for video 2 of the In Search Of series, because we just found a whole lot of free fertilizer that you can use at home in your garden. Alright, now if you have any cool free fertilizers that you know about, or if you've used and experienced, I'd like you to share them in the comments section down below of this video, and so we can keep the story rolling, keep people educated, and keep growing fresh food, because it's all really about a fresh food future for all. I'm going to say goodbye, because I'm going to see you at the next video real soon. Have a great day, happy gardening, and bye for now.